Hi guys, I'm going to take today to show you what is in my house. I'm going to show you where I keep our food, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we do to store our food properly so that it'll taste good. So we're going to start over in the refrigerator. I have lemons and limes to help flavor up our foods, and sometimes I throw some of this in my water, make it taste a little better. Back behind, I have some low-fat cottage cheese. I have some cherries that need to be pitted still. I have orange. Come down to the next shelf, and I have some vanilla almond milk. I have only been drinking almond milk recently. I mix my shakes with this just because it's so much lower in calories and sugar for my shakes. I do use regular milk when I'm just looking for something to drink. I have some fresh apple cider. I'm going to use this to make some apple pie steel cut oatmeal for my breakfast this week. And the reason I purchased apple cider is, first of all, because it's local and I am a local foodie, a locavore, if you'll have it. But also because apple cider is very rarely sweetened with extra sugar. We are also very lucky where we live that we can get our milk in glass containers. So we have a couple things of milk for the kids and anytime we would like some milk. I have two of my mason jar salads. Sometimes I put the dressing in these salads, but I made these up last night. These have veggies and chickpeas. And I didn't add dressing to the bottom this time because my husband was thinking about taking one and he prefers the dressing separate. Alright, so this shelf I also try to keep fruits that the kids can just come in and grab. So I have fresh grapes, strawberries, which are almost ready to be in season here in upstate New York. Our season is only about 2 weeks, so for now we have to use these. I also buy my fruit. I have pineapple, I have watermelon, I have melon. I've bought them cut lately. I used to be very opposed to buying fruits that were already cut up. I figured for the price I could cut them myself, but I found that we rarely ate them. So for us on the fitness journey, it's much more important to have the fruit ready and available. We almost always have at least 1, if not 3 or 4 varieties of salsa, and I have a lot of varieties of yogurt. 2 out of the 3 of my kids love yogurt, as do Jeremy and I. Sometimes we throw a few things like applesauce in. One thing about my eggs, I have 2 cartons of eggs here. I actually get my eggs straight from the chicken, basically. I get them from a local farmer so that I know where my eggs are coming from. I try to do that with as much meat as I can as well, so that I know there's no hormones or antibiotics in my meat or my eggs. I have some chicken breasts. I have some salmon, some ground turkey in there. I try to just buy it when I see it on sale if I can. And then the bottom shelf, I also have some veggies. The kids can come in and grab veggies if they want. My 6-year-old likes the little baby carrots. I have peppers to dip in hummus, snow peas to dip in hummus, some baby cucumbers, and some zucchini. Some of these still need to be cut, but I try to keep them there. So you say, well, why didn't you put that in the vegetable crisper? Well, I eat lots of vegetables. So the vegetable crisper down here at the bottom is full of all the vegetables that my kids aren't just going to grab and eat, like the onions, the shredded carrots. I have more zucchini, Brussels sprouts, the larger carrots that need to be peeled and sliced. And I love these rainbow carrots. I get them at the farmer's market in the summer. Our summers here are very short though, so I did find these actually at the grocery store. But if you can find heirloom rainbow carrots, they have so many more vitamins and nutrients, they're worth it. All right, and then up here, we keep our meat and cheese. And the reason I keep this in the bin is not just for organization, but because it's hidden out of sight. We do have some little string cheese for the kids. I have some plain Greek yogurt, some sliced cheese. I do have some whole wheat tortillas. I make my own for Mexican food, but we use these for wraps for the kids. And then I always have a selection of walnuts or almonds or pecans, and I keep them in the fridge so they don't go rancid as fast. So I've got all the makings for things like salads and dinners that need chicken. Okay, now over here I keep a little bit of butter. I'm going to show you where else I keep my butter later. I have some locally made cream cheese. I have some homemade pumpkin butter. And then I have lots of condiments, lots and lots of hot sauces. We're from the Midwest, for those of you who don't know, and we like our food hot and spicy. When you're looking for things like ketchup, it's tricky. You need to really go and look. Don't just read the front label though. Make sure you look at the back. Ketchup often has lots of sugar in it, and I can't really get this to focus, but look for one that has no added sugar. We keep things like banana peppers on hand to throw in salads, lots of different mustards and pickles, and we try to use only the reduced sugar jams and jellies when I can make it myself or buy it from a produce farmer. I do that. We also have maple syrup, and for those of you who don't live in an area where you can get maple syrup, this is maple syrup grade A, which is delicious, but I also have another one in the back of the fridge that's maple syrup B, which is thicker, darker, and richer. It's a totally different flavor. They always say once you go B, you'll never go back, and it's true. I use A in my cooking. I use B on my pancakes and waffles and in my coffee. All right, that's my fridge. And in my freezer, I have some fresh juice popsicles. These have no added sugar. They're just made from juices. I have this is some goat cheese from a local farmer that I found. And yes, this is a very brown, weird looking banana. I put half a banana in my shakes in the morning, and I just toss the next one in my freezer so that I'll have it ready to go. Yes, we do get Schwann's pizza still. We probably have some ice cream in here too. In this bottom drawer, which is having trouble pulling out right now, I have some vegetables that I froze last year. Sometimes we do need to grab just a quick lean cuisine. I try not to eat processed foods, but when you're in a pinch. I have some more chicken breasts. This bag here is actually chicken stock. If you make a whole chicken, you boil the bones for a while. It gives you the most nutritious chicken stock, and it's so tasty and delicious, and you don't have to put salt in it. And then these are my favorites. I have gallon bags full of the local blueberries from last year and the local strawberries. You can't beat the fresh fruit, so I try to freeze at least one bag per month of each type. And then up here, I have some bagels that I froze from our local bagel baker. His kids actually go to daycare with my youngest. They make their bagels only from fresh whole ingredients, locally ground wheat, and they're absolutely fabulous. So I buy those every week. Okay, now I just want to show you quick, for those of you who are wondering how to store some certain things, when you're storing fresh herbs or asparagus, if you just stick them in a bowl of water on your counter, they'll stay fresher longer. When you put these into the refrigerator, they dry out and they're not as tasty. So on the counter in a bowl of water, change the water every couple of days and you'll have fresh vegetables and herbs. Tomatoes should never be put in the refrigerator, always left on the counter, and they will taste so much better. In season, I always buy the heirloom tomatoes. They're not ready here yet. Also on my counter, I have this little white crock. It has my butter in it. This is full of butter, and you can see the inside has a little water in it. So when you put it in, it seals out the oxygen. This butter stays soft, but it stays fresh. And that way I'm more likely to use it. Of course, I have my Shakeology bags. I keep my potatoes and onions over here in a darker corner so that I remember they're here and I'll be more likely to use them. And also up here I have a little garlic tub. I have so much in there I can't get the lid on it, but there it is. All right, further over my counter, of course, I have my bagel cutter so that I don't slice my hand open again. And I have usually at least a couple of shaker cups on the counter so I can grab and go if I need to. I do have my coffee pot and the cabinet above the stove up here. I have lots and lots of coffee and tea. I've mentioned it to a couple of you. This tea, if you have a sweet tooth, is absolutely fabulous. chocolate mint, doesn't need any sweetener. It tastes like the hint of chocolate mint in a cup, and it's delicious. You can get it at most grocery stores, and I know Target carries it as well. Okay, over here I have my stand mixer, which I use to make my bread. And then more fresh fruit, usually bananas. I keep my cherry tomatoes over here. And we have a few apples that the kids can just grab and go if they want to. Haven't yet made room in the fridge, but I did pick these up from my local farmer, which I'm going to talk about another day. But I have a whole bag of spinach and lettuce. And the best way to keep these fresh is to keep them in a plastic bag and throw a paper towel in with them. That way the paper towel will absorb the moisture and they won't get dried out and they won't get soggy either. All right. Okay, so here's my pantry. And I do keep some organic milks on hand in case the kids need to throw one in a lunch bag. Sometimes I'll take these for my shakes too. They don't need to be refrigerated, so they're a good option if you're traveling. And you can usually buy them inside the airport if you are traveling that way. We have some fish crackers, as my daughter calls them. We do have some oatmeal varieties up here. I prefer the steel cut. My husband prefers the packets. And then down here on this shelf, it's going to be dark. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but I keep a tub of healthy snacks for the kids, trail mixes. There's some organic fruit snacks, some cookie type snacks. And then in here, I have some organic granola bars, which I know I've told you to check the sugar content on those. I have a box here that has extra almonds, some single servings of almond butter, the steel cut oats, some quinoa, and my Lara bars. I love my Lara bars. They don't have very many ingredients, and they're easy to grab and throw in a purse. Back here we do have a few cans of soap and some spices and things, but I also have my P90X bars, which I just started, and they are absolutely delicious. I have some quick meals for my daughter when my parents are over here watching them. I try to keep spaghetti sauce on hand. It's usually homemade from our own heirloom tomatoes, but at this time of the year we are running low. And again, I went to the store and tried to find one with no added sugar, and it was tough. So really start to become an ingredient reader rather than a label reader, and you'll find some surprising hidden ingredients. I keep some of our oils. Coconut oil over here is one of the best oils that you can cook with. It has a low smoking point, or rather a high smoke point, so it doesn't get all smoky and create those carcinogens as quickly as other varieties do. And some other different oils, especially for stir fry. And then I have nuts and whole wheat pastas over here to be able to make some quick dinners. I keep different styles of rice on hand, and of course I usually buy my olive oil in bulk and my balsamic vinegar. We make our own salad dressing most of the time. And last, this is more of the snack corner. I just found this, and I've only had one little spoonful, but for those of you who like this Nutella, it has as much or more sugar as most cans of frosting. So if you're looking for an alternative, try to find this Justin's chocolate hazelnut butter. I found this one at Target, and I've seen it other places too. It doesn't have the consistency that the Nutella does, but it does have a very, very good flavor. And it's a nice option if you like that cocoa hazelnut. I try to keep popcorn on hand. We pop our own on the stovetop, and this was grown locally and dried. And then I also keep my natural peanut butter. Again, peanut butter has a lot of added sugar, so make sure you get one that's only peanuts. This is some local raw honey. I also have a little thing of raw honey that my friend got me right out of her beehive. And then over here I keep some more of the steel cut oats, some organic cocoa to put in my coffee. I have some dried cranberries. These are the ones infused only with apple juice. And then yes, I do keep things like marshmallows for s'mores because I do want my kids to be able to be kids.
I hope you like CanMamaGetFit Kitchen. Have a nice day.